there out of Fort Smith with that fire. And you can get the very latest. Tonight, two families who lost loved ones on Table Rock Lake prepare to say goodbye. So on West Siloam Springs, police are investigating after a body was found on Highway 412. Colleges and universities in Oklahoma are taking a second look at their drug policies. We are just down the street from that Baptist church in Sutherland Springs. Right now, you can actually see some patrol boats out here on the water. Hear about those that are missing. And with more on that, 4029's Katie Davidson is live this morning in Branson here with the latest. Katie? And when are we seeing those biggest chances of rain? Hopefully not when those kids are going back to school.
Right? They don't walk into class on the first day.
Well, as Oklahoma schools remain closed, teachers are planning more demonstrations. While Mama's asleep, Arkansas Game and Fish workers are making sure that cubs like this little guy around the state are healthy and thriving. Multiple crews working to extinguish a structure fire on Highway 271 in Fort Smith. Let's get straight to the scene right now with 4029's Alex Wilson live with the latest. Alex? And where that fire started. Behind me here you can see those buildings as fire crews are right now still trying to work to get a lot of those hot spots. Well, can you believe that it's already time to think about getting back to school? And that means back to school shopping. Now, some startling new statistics about opioids. The defense team for a former state senator has rested its case. Those who've been impacted by domestic violence went head-on in high heels to support the Northwest Arkansas Women's Shelter. These are the probable cause affidavits that were used to issue the arrest warrants. Neighbors asked to stay inside of their homes, a few able to get out as police blocked off the neighborhood. And in fact, the last 30 minutes alone have been probably the most exciting. Look at this right here. This is 25 Butterball turkeys. This is all in the name of science.
This is all in the name of science.
Just so you know that.
Go ahead and touch that to the balloon. Whoop.
Woo! Well, it's going to be gorgeous for a little while.
Take it while you can, everyone.
That's right, that's right.
Well, the Northwest Arkansas mom is now sharing her painful story in hopes that it could save a life. Rachel Baker's two young children, 4-year-old Damien and 18-month-old Crystal, died last year when they were swept out of their mother's SUV by rushing floodwater. We are just down the street from that Baptist church in Sutherland Springs. I'm going to step out of the way and show you exactly where we're at. Behind me here in the distance, you can see a yellow tent. That is where the FBI and other law enforcement have set up the perimeter for this crime scene. The church is just behind that. In front of that yellow tent, you can see a black truck there in the distance. And you might be able to see the tail end of a red car. Now that is where Stephen Willeford, the man that we spoke with, was able to get to and exchange gunfire with the shooter, with the gunman inside that was inside of that church, and eventually help in stopping him. Now, for me, this is a very personal story. I know Mr. Willeford from growing up, and he says that he just is thinking of the community in all of this, and tonight he took us exclusively there to the crime scene where he exchanged gunfire.
My house is down on the corner over there, right past that sign. I could hear the shots, pop, 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 pop.
But from, you can't even really see him yet. You're rounding your corner up here to get closer to see what's going on.
Barefooted.
Barefoot, what's, in that moment, what's going through your mind before you can even really do anything?
All I'm thinking is I've got to get there. I've got to stop what's happening. I've got to get there. That's the truck I was standing behind. And then when he saw me, of course, he reacted to me. And I guess I don't think he expected to see any resistance. He saw me and we exchanged gunfire.
And that's where that bullet hole from right up there came.
That's, you know, like this car has a bullet hole in the window. He was shooting at me, and there's one in the house too. And one in the house over here.
Could you see people?
No, I did not at this point. At this point, I did not. For all I knew,
focus was on him.
And he shot across the street into these neighbors' homes that are here. I saw his side, and that's what I shot for. I don't know that's where I hit him, but I knew that that would be where that tactical gear did not cover. And then when he got in, he shot twice more through the window.
So he's in the car right now.
He's in the car, and then he pulled up and he turned down there, and I made one last shot at him as he was
Driving off.
Driving
and
off.
where was Johnny in all of this?
He was at, see that stop sign right over there?
Right.
He was parked right there through the whole thing.
This is your community.
This is my town.
This is your home. You
This is
were
my
ready to
home.
protect it.
This is my home. I was scared like you can't even imagine. I was scared.
Yeah.
But I knew something had to happen because I love those people there. I know I love the people that are in there. And I still don't know who lost their lives, but I'm sure that some of them are my friends. I'm sure some of them are my friends.
Now, we were able to get to that portion of the crime scene thanks to some of the property owners that are just across the street from the church, and they say that in that moment they were thankful, even scared for Mr. Willeford to be able to go out there showing that bravery and be able to help and assist in stopping that gunman. Now, Mr. Willeford says that he does not consider himself a hero at all. Right now, he is just asking everyone around the world and the country for prayers for this small community. We're live tonight in Sutherland Springs, Texas. I'm Joshua Cole, 4029 News. Around 5,000 bears in the state. Arkansas Game and Fish monitors about 50 of them to make sure their population is healthy for the people of Arkansas. Today they're taking us into the Ozark National Forest to see one of them, Zoe, and her cub.
Looks good for the bear state. Bear state looks good as long as we keep having little bears.
Arkansas Game and Fish checks on its 53 monitored bears in the state each year to make sure they're still having cubs. Today, it's Zoe.
We're a conservation agency, so we're managing the resource for the benefit of not only the resource, but for the benefit of the people.
With a radio collar, the Game and Fish experts can find the nearly 300-pound black bear and safely get her to sleep. While Mama's asleep, Arkansas Game and Fish workers are making sure that cubs like this little guy around the state are healthy and thriving.
He is 4.75.
Seeing how well Zoe and her cub are thriving tell a lot about how climate impacts Arkansas bears and their ability to find food.
Even though they're coined as the most successful large carnivore reintroduction ever, they're omnivores. They eat everything.
Black bears can have 1 to as many as 6 cubs every 2 years. The fact that Zoe has even one this spring is still a good sign for what was once called the bear state. It'll be another year before Arkansas Game and Fish get back out here to check on Zoe and her cub. We're in the Ozark National Forest. I'm Joshua Cole, 4029 News.